Welcome to the Geek Out Room podcast. Don't forget you can watch us over on our YouTube channel, Sauces Entertainment. This is powered by Sauces Entertainment. Or you can listen to us over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just type in Geek Out Room podcast and you'll find us. With that being said, it's an emergency episode because it's super late, but we gotta talk about it. Netflix is rescinding their offer to buy Warner Brothers. Paramount offer is significantly higher, somewhere that Netflix does not want to reach, or at least is calling Paramount's bluff. So as it stands, Netflix is out, Paramount is in, and Paramount will be the new owner of Warner Brothers, which means DC Comics, CNN, I think the video game division for Warner Brothers as well, HBO, all that stuff, dude. Cartoon Network, all that stuff. What does this mean? I really hate to be the doom and gloom person because I usually like to give things a chance, but this is one of those situations where I didn't know who was worse. But then I really started to sit back and think about it because Netflix is not perfect. There's a lot of things they do wrong, especially when it comes to movies and theaters and that whole dynamic and streaming culture. But Paramount it's borderline irresponsible to let them have Warner Brothers. Everyone knows, which is why Warner Brothers has been tossed around over the last every decade. They are a studio with rich IP. If you own Warner Brothers, you are incurring a ton of debt, but you're getting a catalog. You're getting intellectual property that can garner you billions. And that's why people keep buying it. And this sale is different because there is a lot of this sale is definitely politically charged. Let's just keep it a bean. It is highly politically charged. Okay? And when you look at what's happening to journalism in the United States, when you see what's happening to late night television shows and people who oppose the current administration, such as Stephen Colbert, he's being treated. It's only reasonable that people would feel like, including myself, feel like Paramount would do the same to Warner Brothers. John Oliver is brilliant. You think they're going to let him keep doing what he's doing? Okay. I mean, to be fair, Netflix has done the same thing when it comes to Hassan Minaj. You know, when his the Patriot Act, right? They took him away from him criticizing. I think it was China he was criticizing. And so Netflix, again, has history just like Paramount does. But right now we're at a critical time because midterms is coming up. And with midterms coming up, a lot of people can be voted out. And those people get voted out, this current administration will be on its way out quicker than anticipated. Or at least every single thing they want to do will be heavily challenged, or at least should be heavily challenged, or met with extreme resistance, and a lot of things will not get passed, and it will be a very sluggish, ugly second, not even second, it still is when we were just past year one, but it'll be a very tough time for President Trump, right? So his boys over at Paramount really want Warner Brothers. They have a lot of reasons to get Warner Brothers, and one of them is not because it'll make them money. Warner Brothers, do not make no mistake, will put you in some serious debt. I mean, all these companies are really in debt, but Warner Brothers in particular, you are going to inherit a ton of debt. You'll inherit a ton of issues, and you'll inherit a bunch of IP that now you're in charge of developing and bankrolling. It's not easy, and it's going to bleed you dry because many other companies have bought this same studio, and many other companies have failed dramatically in capitalizing on these IPs, which has caused more and more debt, and then the baton gets passed to the next racer. this next racer is Paramount. And I don't like what Paramount does with the IP they do now. I don't like what Paramount is doing with their cartoon / animation side of things. I mean, they have Nickelodeon, and Nickelodeon has seen no progress. Nickelodeon is just something they use to keep the status quo and get and squeeze whatever they can out of what's left in the dying animation of television, right? And now they're going to have Cartoon Network plus Nickelodeon. So I don't believe that they will say, hey, you know what? Let's bring cartoons back. Let's bring Saturday morning cartoons back. Let's employ all these animators. Let's employ all these storyboard artists. Let's employ all these writers and brilliant minds to really have a renaissance or a revival, really, of cartoons, right, for this next generation. That's not what's going to happen here. The whole argument from Netflix is that, oh, well, Netflix is a streamer. Well, so is Paramount. Paramount has Paramount Plus. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. All these things are something plus. Paramount also, do they have, I think they have Champions League as well, because they have CBS, so they have Champions League. So they have so much. And the thing that sucks about Paramount, right, because Paramount's not cutting me a check, so I can be truthful here. They are really horrible at showing the highlights to a lot of things, especially Champions League. Just like Apple. Apple does the same thing. A lot of these streamers do the same thing because they want you to subscribe to them. They need you to subscribe to them. I have not seen any highlights or any games of Major League Soccer because I do not have Apple TV. I refuse to pay for Apple TV. I pay for iPhone already. And this is still a lightning cable iPhone. So that tells you how long it's been since I bought an iPhone. I refuse. I refuse. And so there's a lot of shows I have not seen. There is a lot of matches I have not seen. And I just don't like what Paramount's doing. I don't like this. They have TNT. A lot of these things are going to get axed. And most importantly, they have CNN. And we know where CNN leans, and we know where Paramount leans, and we know the person that's buddy where Paramount leans. And again, if you think a lot of these shows are going to exist, you're wrong. Let's even take it a step further and really go to what I truly, I care about a lot of these things. I love TV, but let's get to the heart of Warner Brothers. Movies, the cinematic experience. If you believe that movies like Sinners will be made under this new leadership, under this new direction, you're horribly mistaken. If you think artists, creatives that develop over the years their cinema techniques, their storytelling techniques, the directing techniques, the producing techniques, if you think they're going to be able to get that Ryan Coogler deal for movies such as Sinners, movies like Get Out, you're mistaken. If you think we'll ever see another TV series or movie like Lovecraft Country, you're mistaken. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these shows that I just named and movies that I just named were wiped off the HBO Max or whatever it's going to be called. Because you think Paramount's going to have a streaming service that allow you to watch Lovecraft? You're deeply mistaken. You're deeply mistaken. It's scary. It's scary because, in my opinion, if the argument for Netflix, the argument that they had against Netflix, right, that would be monopoly, all these things, it should have also applied to Paramount. It should have applied to Apple. It should have applied to NBC/Peacock. It should have applied to everybody who has a streamer. I don't understand how it can apply to one but not the other. The same advantages Netflix would have gotten is the exact same advantages that Paramount would have got. Paramount is not some indie studio. Paramount has legacy studios, as legacy programming. And we've seen do you know how much CBS has deteriorated over the years? Stephen Colbert was part of the reason, and the Colbert Show was part of the reason. I was saying it's a Colbert Show, Colbert Report. Sorry, I remember him from his Comedy Central days, but he's part of the reason. It's not like he's not carrying CBS single-handedly, but he's also not just bleeding the money. He's also not just some random guy, some random program. And I know people like to use this, say, oh, well, late night television is dying, so of course, no. Late night television still has its spots. And late night television can still easily pivot. It can still easily pivot. A lot of clips online from late night television shows still go viral. They still have their place in this age of new media, or whatever you want to call it. I don't like what I'm seeing. Because if you think we're going to get a story like Superman, where last summer it felt like hope got injected directly into my veins. Give me an IV drip of hope from Superman. Not just because it was a great movie and I feel like DC was finally going in a positive direction. Like, genuinely excited for DC movies to come out. You think you're going to get a show like The Penguin. You're going to get a genuine good Batman Part 2, Part 3. There's so much at stake when it comes to transferring of hands like this, but especially with a studio that has a vendetta against a lot of the core people, or at least the ideologies of these core people that make some of this good art, some of this great art. So yes, a lot of people are worried, and they should be. I'm one of them. Because as someone who loves entertainment, loves movies, this is, quite frankly, and excuse my language, I feel like I need to say something strong to help illustrate and drive this home. This is some bullshit. This is film industry bullshit. This is why the film industry is dying. It's dying because no one gives a shit about art anymore. No one cares about the artist. No one is making avenues for people to get their stories off. They're talking about, well, we can't make our money back. You killed the DVD and Blu-ray with your streaming. You could have left Netflix and let Netflix do its thing and still kept DVDs and physical media alive. You could have done that. You could have had these steel box sets and Blu-ray bundles and all this stuff going. People have PS5s. People have these giant 70-inch TVs and flat screens and home entertainment systems. You could have pivoted to that and kept physical media alive, but you didn't. You greedy fucks. You did that. You are eating yourself. You're cannibalizing yourself. These companies do not care about making good art. They don't care about making daring, interesting, original stories. They don't care. Be ready to see 50 Harry Potter spin-offs, my boy. Be ready for that. Be ready for a rebooted, much different SpongeBob, my boy. It's frustrating that time and time again, fans are subjected to capitalism and greed to the highest and most annoying degree. This is kind of a pivot, but still in the realm of movies and entertainment. That stupid shit AMC's doing, sorry again with the language, but I just really have to drive this, illustrate how sick this makes me. AMC is doing this A-listers and stub members get a preferential seating. What the fuck does that mean? It's a movie theater. What preferentials with the smack middle of the theater? Like, what? Because I'm not a Stubbs member or A-list member or whatever, I can't sit in the center of the theater when I paid money just like everybody else to see this movie. And guess what? I am an A-lister. Whatever it is where you can see like 4 movies a week. That's what I'm like, well, for $29 a month or whatever. That's what I am. And I'm telling you, it's disgusting what they're doing. I am a member, and I'm telling you, it's disgusting what they're doing. I think the membership is great for just seeing 4 movies a week if I want to, or 3 or 4. I think I'm updated to 4 now. 4 movies a week. On my birthday, I get a free large popcorn. Like, that's enough for me. That's enough. I literally are giving AMC every year $27.99 or $28 a month every month. This entire 365 just for that, and I'm content. I do not need to like. What is this? Why are we? There's microtransactions in movie theaters. You greedy people. You greedy people. Dude, it used to cost when I watched Iron Man 1 in theaters, it cost $8 to go watch it at prime time when everyone's off, when everyone could go watch it. It cost me $8 and some change. I understand inflation. I understand costs going up, whatever magic words you want to use. I understand the price is not yet, today's price is not yesterday's price. I understand that. But at some point, some things have to be sacred. Morality has to kick in somewhere. We have to take a stand. And I really don't know what it is to do because we really don't have a leader in this shit. There's no one, because they'll be blacklisted immediately, who can stand up to these studios and to these institutions like BAFTA. Don't think I forgot about that shit. We'll talk about that in a different episode. There's no artists to voice it because they will get no money to make movies anymore. They'll get blacklisted immediately. I understand that's someone's livelihood, but we need a leader to help organize us because SAG-AFTRA is not going to do it and they can't. And I don't trust no one in England. Not a soul over there. So I don't know what it is to do about the theaters. I don't know what it is to do about how institutions like BAFTA can get away with being like so ignorant and racist. The Oscars, all these places, like I don't know. Okay, but we need a plan of action. We need points. We need something we can do, because enough's enough. I really drew the line years ago, but when I've seen this pay $28 a month so you can sit in the middle of the theater or wherever they're gonna put these special seats at, that's insane and so asinine. That's great. So you're telling because as a stub member or as an A-lister, when you have this membership, they're just canceling out the money. So like if a ticket's $28, it's $28. They're just zeroing out because you already paid $28 for the month to watch 4 movies a week. If I go see what's out right now, like when Mortal Kombat 2 comes out, if I go see Mortal Kombat 2 in theaters and I have the pass, I'm paying the same as someone else is paying the same ticket price to get in. If you understand what I'm saying. So what makes them like if we're paying the same price in essence to go watch this film? Why does someone else, because they have your membership, they get to just like, so you're going to just section off like it's a club? Like there's VIP seating in a movie theater? Do you know how crazy that sounds? Do you know how far removed we are from what movie theaters should have been, what they were? I mean, I already crossed the line with having alcohol in theaters. There should be no bars in movie theaters. I'm sorry, I could be one of the few people to echo this. Having alcohol in movie theaters is insane. It doesn't make any sense. Having something that can make you inebriated, movie theaters demand presence. They demand being in the moment, because you're enjoying something for 120 plus minutes. You're focused, you're dialed into something that is actively entertaining you. You do not need alcohol or any substances that alter that concentration. In my opinion, I don't like the idea of paying extra money to get my food delivered to me, and I didn't even order food. I just have fees attached to my ticket solely because someone else in the theater may get food. And I know I went on a tangent with movie theaters, but this is important to the studios, to Paramount, to all of this, because now I just don't know what is stopping Paramount from being evil. I don't know. There's no checks and balances. The whole point of Monopoly, the whole point of all this is to make sure that shit is fair, to make sure that these corporations have to actually act right, that there is some repercussion of being just blatantly greedy and horrible. And now they don't. They're like, hey, you want to watch Lioness or whatever, you watch on Paramount Plus. You want to watch Hard Knocks, you watch it on Paramount Plus. You want to watch Us arrest Don Lemon illegally, you watch that on Paramount Plus. It's disgusting. It's so dumb. Now, who knows when this deal is actually going to go through, first and foremost. Who knows how long it is until changes are officially made, because to be fair, there are contracts. There are things in place that they should honor or either have to honor, or at least, if bare minimum, it would cost too much money to void out contracts and just have to pay out a bunch of people. It would just be a horrible first footing. So who knows what route they'll take or what they're going to do here. All I do know is that the world of cinema is under direct attack. The world of freedom of speech is under direct attack. The world of artistic expression is under attack. And today should have been the alarm. If it didn't alarm to you already, today should have been the day where you step back and you're like, this is greedy. There's nothing else here but greed and disgust. And a blatant play. Because what they really care about is CNN. What they really care about is this midterms. And if you think that the powers that be is not going to do everything they can to make sure these midterms are as annoying and gut-wrenching and just tiring. They want you to be tired. They want you to not fight back. They want you to just be lethargic. They don't want you to be active. Fuck that. Be active. Be angry. Use all that rage bait energy you have to actually do something. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're getting your news from your local newspapers. Make sure you're paying attention to any potential firings or moves. Do not let them. They're going to make a drag out fight. That's what they want. A fight of endurance. Not just for political sake. Just even if you only care about the artistic, cinematic part of all this, you still should fight, because this is egregious. This is annoying. This is egregious and annoying. This is why people have private servers where they have their own streaming service. They have their private servers, all their stuff that they really love, loaded up, and they're done. Because this is insane. This is just, it's so disgusting, and it sucks as someone who makes movies, like myself, who loves the big screen. I'll never forget being able to see my first feature film playing in a theater screen. Like, that was a surreal moment for me. And to see that slowly be taken away by these streamers and by corporate greed, and the fact that the avenue to be where I want to be is, and where many want to be creatively, is closing every day. And you have the same people who are closing these roads complaining, saying that the average consumer who can't afford to go to movie theaters anymore, it's their fault. The average consumer who's living check to check just to feed their family so they can't afford 8 different streaming services, that is their fault. Stop letting these people make you feel bad. Stop it. It's expensive. Shit is expensive right now, man. And it's not your fault. That dinner that you need to feed your fucking stomach so you can go to work tomorrow morning, you not paying for that meal, it is not the reason why shit's expensive right now, man. Like, fuck these guys. Fuck the corporation and this greed. Fuck this deal. And I don't know what the solution is at the end of all of this. I wish I could sit here and tell you, hey, let's just boycott Warner Brothers. Let's take their value, man. Let's boycott Paramount Plus. Let's take their value, man. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if that's going to do a damn thing. I don't know. All I do know is that something needs to be done. And all these actors and these directors, especially these directors and these producers and a lot of these studio heads have been mad quiet. And I want you all to know, all the actors and all you out there, your jobs are on the line. Because next time these negotiations come up, you're cooked. Next time these SAG negotiations come up, you're done. You're cooked. Stick a fork in them. They're done. I want you to know that. Because this type of deal doesn't only just screw over the consumer, it screws over the talent. It's AI time, baby. It's AI time, baby. And this is why, going off on this note, this is why Markiplier's movie, was it Iron Lung? Why they wanted that thing to get destroyed. Why they didn't want leave no room for breathing. Because they knew that Markiplier gave hope to multiple generations of independent filmmakers. And things like this right here is why A24 and other indie filmmakers are so important. Keep making your work. Keep doing it, bro. Keep doing it. And if you're just a fan, you don't make films, you love to enjoy it. And I know it's tough when this is coming. I know it is. But show up to the theaters for those studios' films, for those independent filmmakers. Donate to those GoFundMe for projects or from directors or producers or actors that you truly actually care to watch their work. You're buying into. You read the synopsis, you read the script, whatever it is. Like, support means so much right now. And I know it's tight everywhere. So every dollar does count. And I understand that. I'm not saying it doesn't. What I'm saying is we have to make time for things that do matter. And whether that is supporting it with a couple of dollars here and there, or just showing up to the theaters when we can and when we want to, or just showing up to movie premieres, or just sharing projects, sharing work, appearing in projects for people, whatever it is, dude. Hell, Tubi, you could be the savior here. I'm so serious. Because right now it's looking really bleak. And I really feel for a lot of my creative friends. This has been the episode of the Geek Out Room podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. See you on the next one. Keep geeking out.